In my last video, I said that I want to read mystery books. They're usually on the shorter side, they're quick, they're engaging, and I need that right now. I have picked out 3 mysteries. I don't know if this is going to change, but these are the 3 mystery books that I have on my list right now that are available through the library. The first book I picked out was The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. I picked this book out because I feel like Freida McFadden is kind of one of those mystery book writers that you have to read at one point. I've never read any of her books, but I always see them. People are always recommending them. So I think that it'll be a good book to start with as I dip my toe into the mystery world. Next book I have is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is another author that I think is pretty big in the genre. I have seen this name a couple of times. This book is also highly rated on Goodreads, so I decided to go with this one as the first book from Riley Sager. The last book I'm going to read is Gray After Dark by Noelle W. I think it's Illy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, but I picked this book out because I read the description and I thought that it sounded really interesting. So that's going to be like my wild card because I haven't seen it recommended anywhere, so I just picked it up. So I'm going to read these 3 books and I'm going to put them against each other, and then at the end I will tell you which one is my favorite and why. Yesterday I did start The Handmaid and I am like 5% into that book, but the plot is going to be there's this girl that really needs a job. She's struggling a little bit and she wants to work for this lady in a house. Her job is going to be cooking, cleaning, and watching the kid that they have, but she can already see and tell that there's something off about what's going on here. At the very start of this book, we do know someone has been murdered, and then it takes us back to the beginning where she gets the job. I'm 35% into The Housemaid and I made some notes on my phone. We now know that the main character of this book, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, used to be in prison. She was in prison for a really long time, but we don't know why. All we know is that she doesn't have any friends, she doesn't have any contact with her family, and that she was in prison. Nina, the woman that hired her, is very odd. She has a daughter who's also very odd. The only normal-ish person in this family is the husband. He seems to be an okay person, but to be honest, in a mystery book, I trust no one to the very end. So even he's on the chopping block for me, even though all of his actions have been kind of positive, I still am like, I don't know about you. And there's also another character in this book named Enzo, and he also works for this family. Enzo seems fine. He's the one that keeps warning our main character that something dangerous is going on in this house. That's another thing. This main character is stupid or just willingly taking whatever from his family, even though she has been warned countless times and seen firsthand that there's something off about these people. The people in the town gossip about this family, specifically Nina, saying that she is off her rocker, she's a very strange individual, and she has also experienced Nina acting very weird towards her. And then the worker Enzo said that this house is dangerous, you're in danger, and she's still working for them. So, okay. And her room locks from the outside. I get that she has no other opportunities, but it's like red flag after red flag, babe. So it's becoming kind of a frustrating read because the main character is doing the exact opposite of what you want her to do. So after I did my last update, it just became spoiler after spoiler. So I'm not going to say what the plot was. I think that it was a good starting point because I think that I'm gonna find better mystery books than this one. The writing did start to get a little repetitive, so that was kind of annoying. And I also didn't really like any of these characters, so I didn't have anyone to root for. The writing was just okay to me. The twist was interesting, but like I said, I think this is a good starting point, and hopefully the other 2 books are better than this one. I think I would give this book maybe a 3 stars. It was fine to me. So I am 7% into the second book, and it's actually really well. The setup is similar to The Housemaid. I did that unintentionally. I didn't know it was going to be this kind of plot. Our main character, Kit, is a caregiver, but she's been out of work for some time now because she ran into some legal trouble. She was not found guilty, so she's now trying to re-enter the workforce. She will be taking care of this older woman named Lenora. At 17 years old, her sister was hung and both of her parents were stabbed. So at the time, everyone accused her of being the murderer, but the police actually didn't find enough evidence to pin it on her. For all this time, she's just been sitting in this house away from this town, and now our main character is going to work for her. So kind of a similar setup, but I can already tell that the writing is going to be better, and hopefully the story and the plot in general is going to be better as well. I'm about 38% into this book, so we've been getting chapters of her going back and reliving a little bit of her life, and eventually it will go into the night of the murders. I have a theory about the murderer, but it's kind of based on nothing, so I don't think I'm going to be correct. So I'm just going to keep my eye out on this character, and we'll see if they have anything to do with it. I am done with The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I'm giving this book 3.5 stars because I think it was better than The Housemaid. I was right about the killer in a very roundabout way. I was always suspicious of this one character, and they were involved, but not in the way that I thought they were involved. That was an interesting twist, and now I am going to pick up my third book for this video. It's actually been a really long time since I picked up this camera for this video, but I am changing the last book. I'm going to be reading None of This Is True. I just got the audiobook in from my library, so change of plans, I'm going to be starting this mystery book, which I know nothing about. I don't know the description or anything. I just saved it a long time ago, and now I got the hold. So I've been reading this book for about a week now, and I didn't film any of it, but I'm DNFing at 70%. A little overview about this book: it follows a woman named Josie and a woman named Alex. Josie and Alex meet one day out on their birthday. They meet in a restaurant, and they realize that they're birthday twins. When the night ends, they part ways. Josie goes home and looks up Alex to try and learn more about her, and she learns that she is a podcaster. Josie listens to a bunch of the episodes, and she kind of becomes obsessed with Alex and this podcast, and she wants to be a guest. She runs into Alex again, and she asks her if she can be the next guest in her podcast series. Alex agrees, and slowly throughout the podcast, we start learning more about Josie's life. And as the podcast continues, the more unhinged Josie starts to become. Like I said, I DNF'd at 70%. I was just kind of over it, honestly. I actually think the writing in this book is better than The Housemaid, but with this book, I just kind of lost steam with it. At least The Housemaid was quick, and you could kind of just binge a book like that, whereas this one, it just kind of didn't hold my interest long enough. I'm sorry if you can hear stuff happening outside, but as I was saying, I did like the format of this. I think it's good for audio because there are podcast elements that are incorporated, which made for an interesting reading experience. I did look up spoilers, and I'm glad I didn't finish this book because, I don't know, I don't think the twist would have saved the book for me. But to give my final rankings of all these books, the first one is going to be The Only One Left, and then it's going to be The Housemaid, and then it's going to be None of This Is True. I definitely thought that The Housemaid would be my least favorite, but I finished that one. It was entertaining enough, even though I don't think it's the best book, I finished it. So that's kind of my thoughts on all of these books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.